Hey guys, this is James from Fuel Fitness Boot Camp and Training. And first, I want to congratulate you and thank you so much for getting this program. You are going to be so satisfied when we get done in about the next 30 minutes. I'm going to go over the top fundamentals that I use for getting my clients the best fitness results that they have ever had in their life. So again, I thank you for watching and thank you for getting the program, and let's go ahead and get started. First of all, I want to go over of why you should watch this video and why you should follow these 10 steps that I'm about to give you. One is I have helped people burn over a total of over 1,000 pounds of fat. I have trained numerous people in numerous lifestyles with all different kinds of limitations and obstacles to jump over. And I've applied these 10 steps and have had massive success with my clients. And they have gotten amazing, amazing results. And this applies to not just the person who can go to the gym 3 or 4 times a week. This applies to everybody in everyday life. So that's the first reason. The second reason is I have taken people and I say naysayers and I've turned them into believers in themselves. So I've taken people to where they've sat in front of me and they have had no hope. No hope for losing weight, no hope for having the body that they desired, no hope for having the lifestyle that they want and that their weight is keeping them from having. So I've turned naysayers into believers with a step-by-step process, and I'm about to share that with you. The third reason is I have lost over 30 pounds myself using these top 10 fundamentals. So it's not just me, I'm not just some meathead personal trainer that's at Gold's Gym, right? And they're just like, all they care about is your money. They don't care about getting you results. They want to overload you with weight and get you hurt and break your knees. I'm not that. I don't consider myself a personal trainer. I consider myself a fitness coach because I honestly feel like I take that next step with my clients and really transform not only their bodies but also their minds and their whole entire lifestyle and ultimately their destiny. So as you can tell, I get so fired up about it and I'm so excited to share this with you guys. And the last reason is I run my own fitness business online and offline. So I work with people in person and they work out with me and they come and train with me. And I also work with clients online as well. So I've gotten people massive fitness results, not just in person, but online using these top 10 steps that I'm about to show you. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, number one, and this is the most important one, and that's why I put it right at number one. Find your why, find your purpose. So the truth of the matter is that losing weight is hard. I don't care how many people tell you, oh, you can just drink this potion, you can just take this pill, you can just do this workout, you can just do this diet, and you're gonna lose weight fast. The truth of the matter is losing weight the right way is hard. It takes discipline, dedication, and lots of hard work. That is the truth. Just accept it. The faster you accept that, the faster you're going to get fitness results. So it's very important to know your why reason. Why do you want to lose the weight? Is it because you want to look better in a bikini? Is it for yourself? Is it because you don't feel good about the pictures that you have on Facebook? Is it because you have a wedding coming up that you want to look good in your pictures for? So it can be for yourself. It can also be for health risks. So are you 60 pounds overweight and you're looking at risk of coronary artery disease? Do you have high blood pressure right now? Are you a diabetic? So health risks can be a very, very powerful why. It can also be for your spouse or your children. Do you want to look better for your spouse? Do you want your spouse do you want your spouse to look at you the way they used to, right? So what about your children? Do you want to be the fat dad or the fat mom during the pre-K meeting or whatever the groups are called where they meet with the parents? You don't want to be that guy. So it can be for your children. Do you want to be around a long time for your children? There's numerous reasons why. I just broke it down into these are about the top 4. So we can go into it a little bit. Again, I've said bikini. So self-esteem is a big one I get to. Is your self-esteem lacking because you're overweight? So what I see happen a lot of times is people, they say they don't have self-esteem, they lack self-esteem. And they come and they train with me and they lose weight and they start to develop confidence in every area of their life, not just their fitness or their looks, but they start making more money. They start saying the stuff that they wish they had the confidence to say. Do you have a lack of energy? So, do you crash at 3 o'clock in the morning? Do you feel lethargic? Are you having to chug Starbucks every 3 or 4 hours? Or ultimately, are you unsatisfied with your life? Like, I mean, what do you feel like there's a better life for you on the other side of this? Why do you want to lose weight? Get a piece of paper and write it down. Figure it out. Do some self-analysis and self-reflecting and really dig into why you want to lose the weight. Because the fact of the matter is that losing weight is very, very hard and it takes hard work and discipline. So you need to have your why so big that it fuels you into success. So what I also recommend is not having more than 3 whys, because if you have more than 3 whys, they don't have enough power, if that makes sense. So if you have more than 3, they're not as strong. So we really want to focus on the strong key factors of your why and of your purpose for losing weight. That's step 1. Okay, number 2. So after we found our why, we have to make a daily decision. So you have to make a firm commitment to do whatever it takes to get where you want to be in life and in fitness. So people make a decision to lose weight, but what they forget to do, and this is one of the big reasons why they don't continue to succeed, is because they don't turn it into a daily decision. They say, hey, I'm ready to get back into the gym and I'm motivated right now and I'm ready to get this done. But the problem is they don't make that decision the next day. So it gets a little bit easier to slack on their diet a little bit. They don't make that decision the next day. So it gets a little bit harder to go to the gym when they're not feeling like it. So when we make a decision, we're committed. So this commitment doesn't fade, as this commitment only gets stronger because you must reaffirm your decision and commitment every day until you get to where you want to be. So this is not just a one-time decision to lose weight. You need to make a daily decision to lose weight. So right down here, I have an action plan for you. So a good example and what I recommend to my clients is to take a sheet of paper, actually to take a spiral notebook and write, I weigh whatever you want to weigh, and give yourself a deadline. Because what that does is that puts pressure on you subconsciously. When you give it a deadline, it subconsciously tells you, hey, we got to try to get this by this time. So what you want to do is you want to write it in the present tense as if it's already achieved. So the example I have here, I weigh 145 pounds on April 3rd. Get you a spiral notebook. You can even get the small ones because you don't need a big one. Go and get you a small one, like maybe a 3x5 spiral little notebook, and write it down every single day. I weigh 145 pounds on April 3rd. And if you want to, you can write it when you wake up and then write it again before you go to sleep. And I highly recommend that. So that's making a daily decision Make a daily decision to keep you motivated until you accomplish your goals. Also, we want to keep our environment thin. So what does that mean, James? What that means is that you need to keep your environment consistent with what you want to achieve. So you're a product of your environment, whether you like it or not, and whether you realize it or not, you are a product of what is around you. So your spouse needs to be on board with you losing weight. It's going to be very, very hard and very, very difficult for you to lose weight and your spouse is not on the same page. So while you're trying to eat a salad, they want to have pizza. While you're trying to meal prep, they just want to go out and eat whatever with nothing, no organization. So you need to have your spouse, your family, and your friends. Where do your friends eat? Do they go to McDonald's every day? Do they eat out 3 or 4 times a week? Do they go out for lunch and go to Mexican and eat burritos and drink margaritas? So do you want to have your coworkers on there with you? Even as much as your radio stations you listen to, are you getting advertisements for stuff that's going to help promote you to lose weight? Or is what you're listening to taking you in the opposite direction and demotivating you and keeping you down instead of keeping you up? You want to be monitoring your TV. What is your TV saying? Notice how many commercials for food you're watching and how they're almost basically brainwashing you to buy their stuff. And is it keeping you motivated? Is the TV motivating you or is it demotivating you? Is it helping you towards your goals or is it hindering you? Be honest with yourself. And also the last thing, last but not least, your kitchen. Your kitchen needs to reflect your goals. So if you have a goal to lose 30 pounds, when you open your fridge should reflect that goal. So obviously leftover pizza is not reflecting your goal. And if that's what's in your fridge, we need to clean that up. So you want to keep your kitchen and your environment thin. All right, number 3, guys, do the math. I love this slide. This is one of my favorite slides of all of them. Very important, very easy way to keep yourself motivated and make this feel accomplishable. So here's the math. There's 3,500 calories in a pound of fat. That's scientifically proven. We know that for a fact. And 1 pound of fat on your body, that is 3,500 calories. So, you say to yourself, I need to lose 15 pounds. Well, what we're going to do is we're going to reword that and take that 15 pounds and turn it into how many calories. So, I don't need to lose 15 pounds. I just need to burn off a total of 52,000 calories. So now it's starting to feel real. Now we're taking that 15 pounds of fat and we're turning it into a measurable goal. Now we're at 52,000 calories instead of thinking in pounds, we're thinking in calories. So this makes it become real for you. So now we know exactly what our target is. So now we're going to set a target and we're going to focus on trying to get into a caloric deficit of 52,000, in which case we'll burn our 15 pounds of fat off. So do the math. If you want to lose 30 pounds, do the math for that. Use this number right here. 3,500 calories equals 1 pound of fat. Do the math and see how many calories you need to burn. Now, is this exactly on track? No. We're not counting your metabolism, how much you normally burn. So there's a lot of factors that come in with it. This is different for men and women. So, but roughly this is on average what we need to focus on. So ultimately we need to focus on getting to 50,000. All right, number 4 in the top 10 fundamentals of fitness success, lift a weight. So why do we want to lift weights? Well, muscle equals metabolism. So metabolism is how many calories our body is burning total. And the more muscle we have, the more calories we're going to burn, the faster our metabolism is. So muscle is a metabolically active tissue, and all that means is that it takes calories to exist. So you can see these football players in the NFL, some of these running backs and linebackers, they eat like 5,000 calories a day, and they eat cupcakes and junk food, and they still run at like 8 to 10% body fat, and they got ripped abs, and they don't have like a slick of fat on them. Well, why is that? It's because their metabolism is so high because they do all that weightlifting and build all that muscle. Their metabolism is so jacked up and it's burning so many calories a day that they can eat whatever they want and not gain any fat. So we don't need to lift like a football player, but we are going to take that concept and apply it to get us massive results. So, in a recent study has shown us in 1 pound of muscle, we're going to burn an extra 50 calories per day at rest. So that means not doing anything at all. At rest means we're burning just more calories hanging out. Sleeping, riding in the car, sitting on the couch, we add a pound of muscle spread throughout your body, you're going to burn an extra 50 calories a day. Now, you might think, oh, well, that's not much. That's just 50 calories a day. I can eat a bag of chips, and that's about 130. That's not going to help me that much. Well, what you want to do is you want to keep lifting weights, and you want to start building that muscle. And as you start building more and more muscle tone, you're going to start burning more and more calories while you're not working out, while you're not focusing on your diet. So we take that 1 pound of muscle and let's bring it up to 10 pounds of muscle. Okay, so now we're looking toned, tight, sculpted. Our legs look a little better. Our butt's starting to look nice. And now we're burning 500 calories per day, not at rest, not doing anything, sleeping, riding in the car, sitting at work. We add 8 to 10 pounds of muscle, we're going to be burning about 500 calories extra per day. Now, let's go back to that number I just was talking about. We know that there's 3,500 calories per in a pound of fat. So, at this rate of 500 times 7, we're going to be burning on average 3,500 calories a week while we're not doing anything, sleeping, riding in the car, just hanging out watching TV. We're going to have such a metabolism boost from the muscle that we're going to be dropping fat at a pound a week, which is super, super fast. And also, I wanted to tag this down at the bottom. Your metabolism decreases 10% every year as you get older if you do not do anything about that. So, what can you do to increase your metabolism? That's pretty much what this whole entire slideshow is based off of, is taking care of your metabolism and your ability to burn calories. So if you're not doing anything right now, just realize that every year as you get older, your metabolism is decreasing by 10%, and it's only going to get harder and harder for you to lose the weight. So number 4, increase your metabolism and lift a weight. Okay, guys, number 5, be the hair. In this slide, I'm going to talk to you about cardio. So, how much cardio do I need to do to lose weight and burn fat? So, this slide talks about 2 different types of cardio training. One is steady state cardio. That is just getting on the treadmill and walking at a steady speed for a long duration of time, and that's it. And then the other one down at the bottom is called HIIT training. And this is a term that's getting more popular and popular. It stands for high intensity interval training. So a big difference between the two. What interval training is you go fast and then you rest. And then you go fast again and then you rest. And you do those in sets, almost like when you're lifting weights. So you might run on the treadmill for 60 seconds as fast as you can and then rest for 60 seconds. And then run on the treadmill for 60 seconds and then rest for 60 seconds. Now, as you can see, you burn the same amount of calories that you do for steady state cardio and a lot less time for the HIIT training. So on average, people burn roughly 250 to 300 calories in about 45 minutes of walking steady state. Now, the reason why you only need 15 minutes for HIIT training is because it's getting your heart rate up and we're burning more calories. So a big difference with the HIIT training and the steady state cardio is time. We can train a lot more efficiently doing sprints and resting than going one steady pace for a long duration of time. Now, the second part of it is that we get a metabolism boost for 30% to 40% for the following 36 hours afterwards. So that is the big difference between steady state cardio and HIIT training, because we're going to burn not just 250 calories, but we're going to burn more calories because our metabolism is getting a boost from HIIT training 30 to 40% for about the next day and a half afterwards. You don't get that for the steady state cardio. So, as far as cardio training goes, you need to be the hare. You need to be doing sprints and then resting, and then going really hard and then resting. So it doesn't have to be actually running. You could do this on the bike, the exercise bike. You could do it on the elliptical. You could do it on the Stairmaster. You could even go and run out on the street and time yourself, or use light poles and say, hey, I'm going to run to this light pole, or I'm going to run to this mailbox, and then I'm going to rest, and then I'm going to run to this mailbox again, and then I'm going to rest. So it's a lot better to be the hare than to be the tortoise and go steady state as far as weight loss and fat loss goes, because we can burn the same amount of calories in a lot less time, and we get a metabolism boost 30 to 40% for the next following 36 hours. So we need to do HIIT training versus steady state cardio. Number 6 in the top 10 fuel fitness fundamentals for success and weight loss. Get your rest for stress. This is a very overlooked reason of why people cannot lose weight, why it's so difficult for people to lose weight. It's a very overlooked problem in our society with all the TV and internet, and it's so easy to stay up on Facebook and YouTube nowadays that people are they're not getting enough sleep. And some people may know this, some people may not, but sleep has a direct relationship with your metabolism. So the more sleep you have, the better rested you are, the better your body's going to function. Also, you handle stress a lot better when you're well rested. And we're going to talk about stress and cortisol levels. So, recommended, you need to get 6.5 to 8 hours. If you're trying to lose weight and you're trying to drop body fat percentage, you need to be getting at least 6 to 8 hours of sleep, especially if you're training with weights, because you need sleep, because protein synthesis, which is when your muscles start to build and tone, happens while you're resting. So it's a good rule of thumb to say if you're under 6.5 hours, you're decreasing your metabolism at that point. So as you can see, I've used metabolism a lot during this presentation. And that's the whole key to this thing, guys, is keeping control of your metabolism through various different things. And sleep is definitely one of those. So when you're better rested, you can handle the day in and day out stressors. And what that does is that keeps cortisol levels down. And when cortisol levels are up, they cause belly fat storage. Like literally, they cause fat to store right along your abdominal area. I've seen research on it. It's absolutely insane that it goes straight literally to your belly if your cortisol levels are really high. And you can keep those down by getting a good night's rest and taking care of yourself. So down below, I have some little tips for getting a better night's rest. So for one, have a routine. So try to develop a routine if you try to get to bed by 10 o'clock every night and keep that on a consistent basis, and your body will start to adapt to it. You want to try to get to bed before 12, because in a recent study we've learned that if you get to bed by 12, every hour before 12 counts as, your body recognizes it as an additional 2 hours. So for example, if you go to sleep at 10 o'clock, your body recognizes that as like an extra 4 hours. So I thought that was a good little fact. Eliminate stimuli before bedtime. So this means about an hour before you want to fall asleep, you need to eliminate bright TVs and screens, loud TVs and screens. So eliminating noise from whatever different sources, dogs barking, try to get your kids settled down, because it also keeps you up as well. So you want to start lowering the stimuli that's exposed to you before you try to sleep. And then another one is use night lights for going to the restroom, because that's another stimuli. So if you get up during the night, you don't want to have to turn on the whole entire light for the bathroom. You want to have a night light. That way it's going to be easier for you to go back to get your sleep and go back into the stages, the lower stages of the sleep cycle. And I'm not going to go into all that, but number 6, get your rest for stress. Your body needs it. Don't neglect it. Don't overlook it. If you work night shift, figure out a way to sleep during the day and get an established routine and block off, they say keep your room dark. All right, let's go to the next one. All right, guys, number 7 in the top 10 fundamentals for fitness success, drink up. So we're going to be talking about water and hydration in this slide. So water and hydration also have a direct relationship with how fast you're going to be burning calories. Your body is 65% water. So doesn't it just make sense that if we need to turn our body into a calorie burning, fat burning machine, and our body is made up of 65% water, that we need to take care and drink up, we need to stay hydrated? So our body needs to be working at maximum efficiency, and if it's dehydrated, if it's lacking more of what it is, then it's not going to be working to optimal levels, which is what we need. And also, to build muscle, we need to stay hydrated, because muscle is made up of protein and water. And I'll talk a little bit more about the protein in a later slide. But water is very important. This is another thing that's overlooked. In fact, a recent study has shown that 64% of Americans are dehydrated. And there's numerous reasons why. The number one reason is that people are not drinking water, and they're thinking that they're being hydrated, but there is actually no supplementation for actual straight water. So tea is not water. Diet Coke is not water. Crystal Light is not water. Juices are not water. You need to be drinking straight water. Nothing supplements it. So a lot of times what I tell my clients is that they ask me, hey, is Crystal Light good? Like, can I have Crystal Light instead of water? And what the truth is, I tell them have a couple of times of Crystal Light, but there's no supplementation for water. You still need to be drinking water, and you need to be staying hydrated. Your body needs it, your muscles need it, and your metabolism needs it. So how much water do I drink a day? A lot of people ask. This is just a rule of thumb, and really you should be drinking more, in my opinion, but this is just kind of what we give approximately, and we tell people. So you want to approximately consume 1/2 of your body weight of water in ounces. So an example, if you weigh 150 pounds, you need to consume at least 75 ounces or more. So that's just a rule of thumb. So if you weigh 200, you need to be at least 100, above 100 preferably. So you need to be staying hydrated. So your urine should not be dark. It should have a very, very light yellow, if not clear. So that's a good indication of how hydrated you are. If your urine is a darker yellow, obviously you're dehydrated. But really, for my clients, I tell them, look, you need to be very light yellow, if not clear. That's how much you need to stay hydrated. And so if your job doesn't allow you to go to the bathroom that much, figure out a way to do it. Just make it happen. Pack water in your car. Carry water bottles with you. Some people do better drinking numerous water bottles throughout the day, and some people do better refilling like a Yeti mug throughout the day. But you can't neglect it. You have to drink water. It's very easy to skip. It's very easy to not think about, but you just need to make the conscious effort and drink up. All right, number 8, eat with your hands. First of all, I just want to have a disclaimer. I am not a registered dietitian. I'm not about to tell you how many calories you need to eat for weight loss and fat loss. What I'm going to teach you in this slide is just a general overview of what I tell my clients of how to eat and about how many meals they should be having a day. So a good rule of thumb is to make a meal, you need to take a hand-sized portion of protein plus a hand-sized portion of carbs. So that could be rice, sweet potato, any type of carbohydrates, and combine them together into a small meal about the size of your hands, as you can see in the top right corner. And you need to be eating those about every 2 to 3 hours, and you want to get in 4 to 6 of these small meals per day. So that's just the guidelines for eating. So you want to control your metabolism. So a big problem that people do as far as their diet goes is they eat big meals and they only eat like 2 or 3 times a day because of their work schedule, because they're so busy, they neglect it. And then what happens is their metabolism crashes. Your metabolism crashes when you eat a really big meal. So, for example, you eat a big lunch at a Mexican restaurant and you eat 2 burritos and have some margaritas and you overload your body with all those calories at one time. Your metabolism starts to go really, really fast and really, really high pace to try to digest and burn all those calories off. And what happens is it crashes. It's like you're punching your metabolism in the mouth. It drops. So when you eat your next meal, your metabolism's down, so it's not going to metabolize it as well. So it's going to promote fat storage. So what you have to do is you have to eat smaller meals throughout the day, and then your metabolism just sucks it up, and then it stays high. So your metabolism stays working at optimal levels by giving it 4 to 6 small meals a day. I recommend that you eat protein if you're trying to build muscle. And I also recommend you add a fifth portion of vegetables to at least 2, I would say 3 or 4 meals each day. So you want to consume about 1 tablespoon of unsaturated oils daily or 3 portions of salmon per week. Now, if you take vitamins, omega-3s, fish oils, that actually covers you for that. Your body just needs those good fats to get in there. So that's the guideline for eating for weight loss. It's pretty simple. And this way you don't have to go and measure, right? You don't have to get out the measuring cup and measure out everything. You just use your hands. Now, as far as the proteins go, we want to be eating lean protein, which is what I recommend. So chicken, fish. We want to stay away from high fatty meats. So that's going to be like some ground beef. We don't want to have anything fried. So fried chicken, that's a lot of extra fat and calories that we're adding to our protein that we don't need. So you want to keep your protein lean. So you want to stay away from pork bacon. You want to try to eat that turkey bacon and just fatty cuts of beef overall. So you want to be looking for those lean proteins. And as far as our carbs go, what I recommend is that you don't eat refined sugar. So this can be found in boxed foods such as cereals, desserts, anything processed, right? You want to be eating whole grains and whole complex carbohydrates. Examples of those are your browns, brown rice, brown bread, brown pasta, those types of things. So eat with your hands, guys. Don't make it complicated. Meal prep. So a good thing to do is to use your hands, go through your fridge, start separating out proteins and carbs, and get rid of what I've been talking about in this slide, what you don't need, the fatty cuts and the refined sugar. Get rid of those and start prepping. Just get some Tupperware and prep it out ahead of time. People who prep are so much more successful. I would say probably 80% more successful in weight and fat loss when they prep their meals. That way it's already there to go. They don't have to make it, and then they also don't neglect it, so they know if they have their meals, they need to be eaten. And remember, stay away from big meals because that's going to crash your metabolism. All right, number 9, and we are almost done, guys. We got 2 more left. Number 9, a workout routine will fail you. So a lot of people want to develop a workout routine. That way they keep going and it stays consistent, right? Well, there's a problem with that. And it's overlooked as well, and people don't even know what's going on, and it's like a huge thing, and it's like, man, if you just knew this concept, it would change everything for you as far as working out goes. So we have a little diagram. So let's say we have body A and body B. This is body A of where we are and body B is where we want to be. So let's go through your average Joe Gymmer. These boxes represent each time he goes to the gym, right? So he comes in week 1 down at the bottom and he goes to the gym, hops on the treadmill, walks for maybe 15 minutes, goes and does the machines, whole body, right? He does all the muscles of his body, all the different machines, and then walks out. And it was a great workout. He's sore, he's feeling good about it. And then he comes in for the second week, and since the first week was so great, he does the same thing again. So 15 minutes, goes through the machines. Hey, he's starting to develop a routine. He's starting to feel good about it. He maybe has even, lost a couple pounds, lost a couple inches. Then he goes into the third time. So this is the next time he goes in. And he does the same thing again because he's really starting to enjoy it. And what happens is if he keeps going to the gym and doing the same thing, he's going to plateau. And I know everybody has heard of that. So these boxes that are going down towards other workouts are him plateauing. And what happens is your body adapts to everything that's thrown at it. So, for example, if you go out in the sun, your skin gets darker. Your body is always playing catch up to whatever's thrown at it, including your workouts. So what happens is he does the same thing every time he goes to the gym, and then he stops seeing results because his body has adapted to his workout. And what happens when you stop seeing results, guys? You just stop going. So what you need to do is you need to do something different every single time you work out. And that is how to really get super, super fast results. That's the truth. So over here to the right, I have different ways that at Fuel Fitness, how we train and the different things that we change up. Nobody comes into my door and does the same workout twice. We have a different workout every single time. I have a lady that I've been training for almost over 2 years, and she has never done the same workout, not once with me. It has always been some aspect that has changed and made it different to give her body new stimuli, and also keeps her engaged, keeps her from getting bored with it. So we have weights, sets, reps, rest time, tempo, and even the muscle groups. And we change all of these. Now, do we track and make sure that we're progressing? Absolutely. But we take the weights that we may have used from the second week and we're going to increase it to the third week. we're going to take the amount of reps that we did with the 15-pound dumbbells for the 4th week, and we're going to increase it for the amount more reps for the 5th week. So we're always changing it up. And that is how you're going to progress yourself from body A to body B. A routine will fail you always, always, always. You have to be giving your body different stuff. That's when the body's going to build, and that's when the metabolism is going to build, and that's when when the body's going to release the weight and release the fat. You have to do different stuff every time you go into the gym. A routine will fail you every time. You will hit the plateau, and then what happens when we hit the plateau? We quit in general. All right, guys, number 10, last slide. Let's finish this thing off. Be the weed to become the rose. I forget where I heard this analogy from, but it was a speaker, and he was talking about being the weed. And I'm like, what is this guy talking about weed for? He's like a guy's like a millionaire. He's like on stage talking about weed. So, but what he was talking about is not the weed that we're thinking of, but the normal weed that grows in the crack. So what about that thing? Well, it's unstoppable. The weed is unstoppable. The weed keeps coming back in all conditions and doesn't make an excuse. Whether it's hot, cold, whether it's rainy or it's a drought, you can spray it with Roundup. Lowe's and Home Depot haven't figured out a way to kill it yet. That weed comes back no matter what. And that's what you have to do with this grind, the weight loss, the whole entire thing. You need to become the weed to become the rose in the end. You have to keep coming. You have to keep pushing. You have to keep fighting no matter what. You're going to have setbacks. You're going to have doubts. You're going to have people that are saying, oh, it's really hard. You're going to have everybody's opinion about how to lose weight. Oh, this worked for me. That worked for him. All kinds of different stuff. But you have to make a daily decision that you're going to do this and that you can do this. And you have to be the weed. You have to make a decision that says, I'm not going to stop until I get to where I want to be. So you have to keep coming back no matter what. The weed doesn't make excuses. The weed doesn't say, oh, it's too cold out there, I can't grow. The weed still grows no matter how cold it is. So you have to be the weed. You have to go to the gym even if you don't feel like it. That's when it counts. You have to meal prep even when you're feeling like you really want to have that piece of pizza. That's when it counts. The tough times are the only times when it counts. If you work out and you do the diet when you feel good, it's not going to happen. You have to be the weed. You have to be unstoppable. You have to, one, make a commitment, and two, you got to persevere. You got to be persistent. You got to be consistent, and you just have to keep coming back. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I really hope it helps you. These are the top 10 fundamentals that I use with my clients, and it's not complicated. It's pretty much straight to the point. I really appreciate you guys checking it out, and I hope these 10 steps, I hope you get committed and start applying these 10 steps to your life and make this a lifestyle. Like, really, really make this thing a lifestyle. If you make it a lifestyle, that's ultimately where you're going to be. You're where you want to be. You're going to be more confident. You're going to be happier. Everything's going to be a lot better for you. If you could check out my website at www.fuelfitnessbootcamp.com, there is numerous stories on there of people who have immersed themselves into a fitness program and came out on the other side just a completely different person, both physically and mentally. They feel so much better about themselves. They have more confidence at work. They have more confidence just in their life. Their relationships are better. Everything just like it improved their whole entire quality of life. And that's why I love to do this, because I know that if I can get somebody fit and feeling better about themselves, it changes everything and it has a ripple effect. So if you could just check out my website at www.fuelfitnessbootcamp.com, there's tons of great content on there. Also, if you could check out my YouTube video, I got numerous videos of workouts, motivational videos, and I also go through every single exercise that we do at Fuel Fitness. I go through the form, I go through how to do everything, I go through where to put your heels so when we do a squat, it doesn't hurt our knees, all kinds of different stuff. And if you could also just subscribe to my newsletter as well, I would really appreciate it. You're going to get fitness content, motivation, recipes on a weekly basis. It's a really, really great thing to have to keep your environment thin, right? Thank you so much for watching. I really, really appreciate it. I want to give you a great thank you again. And this is James, and I'll see you soon.